Hello everyone. In this video I'm going to show you how Minecraft with mods is a phenomenal tool for novelists and short story writers of any genre. And after I've convinced you, the second half of the video is a step-by-step guide on how to install these mods. Refer back to the start of this video and the table of contents here if you're watching this in chunks or you feel like skipping ahead. Minecraft is a game where you collect resources and build structures using blocks, and when it's dark there are monsters to fight. But Minecraft also has a creative mode that allows us to build things without having to worry about collecting resources or fighting off zombies. It's a 3D version of Paint or Legos as a video game. Creative mode is what we'll be using. Unmodded, I posit that Minecraft is a great tool for the creative writer, but with mods we can do things faster, get around limitations, and reach a higher level of detail. There are 3 key mods we'll be using and one more optional but useful mod. I'm going to give the briefest of descriptions of them now, but I also plan on doing in-depth videos of the ones of them that need it. First up is World Edit. World Edit does many things. Chiefest for our purposes is the ability to place down blocks on a large scale quickly. Conversely, if we build something we're not satisfied with, we can also delete these blocks very quickly. We can copy things we build, rotate them, and paste them back down, which makes facades and repetitive structures quick and easy. For the second mod, we have Chisels and Bits, and this is probably the most important mod. This allows us to build smaller than Minecraft's default meter-cubed blocks. The mod divides the 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter cubes into 16s. We can achieve a much higher level of detail now, and we can build much closer to a real-life scale. The third mod is Flat Colored Blocks. This mod adds over 1,000 blocks to the game, greatly expanding our building palette. The blocks it adds have only a little texture, and the colors cover most of the possible spectrum. Basically, any color you need, you now have at your disposal. The optional fourth mod is called Xtones. This mod adds hundreds more blocks to the game. I'd say that the strength of these blocks would be their use as wallpapers or floors. I label this mod and these blocks as optional because they're less of a blank slate creatively, but you can combine them or chisel them up in pieces for designs that are a little closer to being original. And, at any rate, you're using them as a visual framework. At the end of the day, the creative work you're peddling is your own writing. Beyond the aesthetic, building things in Minecraft helps with story logic, descriptive specificity, and inspiration. Some of the reasons I list will blend together, but I want to show you nuance at play here. And a few things I list are in the base game, but their use is greatly enhanced by using the mods with them. I stressed that this is a useful tool for writers of any genre because nearly every story contains a set piece that you can then build in Minecraft. A house, a neighborhood, an office, or in my case, a spaceship that looks like a fish. The obvious use of Minecraft is for figuring out the aesthetic design of your set piece. Some people might turn their noses up at this, stating that any writer worth their salt would come up with this on their own, but I find this logic to be junk. For one, most of us tend to use real-life reference to draw inspiration from, whether that be the places we visited or through reference pictures on the internet. And second, the strengths and weaknesses of writers vary widely. Some people excel at plot and dialogue and give us excellent stories. What's wrong with using a tool to help with description? Nothing. Beyond aesthetic, we move into the logic of your set piece. Building in Minecraft is 3-dimensional. You build the structure and your in-game avatar can walk around inside. We can then physically see a plethora of different things. Exact distances, what those distances feel like, how objects look depending on your angle to them, the relationships of rooms and objects to each other due to their positioning, etc. If we're building from whole cloth, we're building a deeper, richer environment by translating it from our head into a visual medium. So, building helps us figure the set piece out, from the logic that we know we need to the logic we didn't know we needed. Perhaps the biggest benefit of all by building a set piece in Minecraft is the inspiration. The process of building your set piece should help to further ideas you already have and generate new ones. So, you'll further the set piece's aesthetic, but you'll gain plenty of fodder for plot ideas, character backstory/development, etc. You'll notice blank spots in your buildings, rooms, yards, neighborhoods, or desks. When you work to fill those in, you'll find that these objects can then be later used for some story purpose. What you're doing is providing yourself with more potential ingredients to use later on. To extend from this in a specific way, a lot of thought is given on how to make characters complete and unique. Some people will fill out a questionnaire or write up fake character history. We can flesh out a character in Minecraft by decorating a character's personal space, their room, their cubicle, their man cave, their garden. I have a few more examples, but I wanted to pause and erase the self-doubt that may be forming in your brain on your ability to use Minecraft effectively for this kind of purpose. Simply stated, an abundance of artistic talent, video game experience, or time is not needed to effectively make this a useful tool for you. Of course, obviously they do help, but as far as video game experience, it's not necessary. There's nothing to win at here. The amount of hand-eye coordination you need is the same as typing. As far as artistic ability and time, you can start seeing the benefit aesthetically, logically, and inspirationally by simply laying out the floor plan of your set piece. You can throw up the walls for simply designed structures quick and easy through the World Edit mod regardless of the size of your set piece. And remember, this is a tool for you to better write your book. The readers will never see it. But I'll show you mine and embarrass myself. So here's my example of it. My book has the characters stop at a luxury rest stop filled with attractions and amenities. As you can see, I didn't build this completely. I had momentary dreams of doing so, but I realized it would take forever. But by laying it out and building up parts of it in a bland and basic way, I reached a greater understanding of the key set piece that makes up the middle of my book. And it informed a lot of my story, from the little details to key plot points to tools used for characterization. Minecraft can destroy your writer's block and get you back to writing. I posit that writer's block falls under two broad categories: logical pitfalls and lack of inspiration. If the logical problems involve your main set piece, then you can solve them as stated previously. If you can't figure out the crime or how your detective is going to solve that crime, then go and actually build the scene of the crime. And as far as inspiration, it cannot be understated how physically building your world in a 3D environment will help you to generate ideas. You're immersing yourself in that setting. I have a few more quick-hitting examples and we'll be done. You can use Minecraft for large-scale world building. The game has natural terrain generation. You can take this as it is and start plopping down buildings and the like on top of it. For a more complete setting, but still on a smaller scale, simply use the terrain generation for only the spot you need, meaning find a picturesque spot to place your little house on the prairie, your cabin in the woods, your house on the cliff. If you're building above the scale of a single structure, then Minecraft has useful in-game mapping. This works well in showing a top-down view of natural terrain or the structures you make. You can design your set pieces on paper, I did, before you build them. But you can also do this type of thing in-game. You can make little scale models out of the smallest bits the mod allows if you feel that might be useful. You can also get a lot of inspiration by changing the way Minecraft looks. Minecraft has a default look. Resource packs change Minecraft's default look completely, and there are hundreds if not thousands of them out there, so if you find yourself needing more inspiration, try one of those. My last example of Minecraft as a tool is through 3D mapping, and this is what I initially found it useful for. The setting in my book is inside of a sphere, and the characters are on a journey through the literal space inside that sphere. I wanted to map that journey, so I built a hollow sphere, then I simply copied and pasted to make the second one, and I used blocks from the game to mark the area where my characters had been so I could keep track of their journey. Installing mods in Minecraft isn't overly hard, but it's a process that contains a few steps. First things first, you need to get the PC version of the game, the Java edition. You can buy it from Minecraft.net. I'm not going to go step by step through that process because I'm sure you've bought things online before. Now that you have the game, we need to locate the folder where the game is installed. If you're on Windows, just type the following in your search bar: %appdata%. A list of folders will come up. The one that says .minecraft is what we want. To save time in the future, I recommend making a shortcut of this to put on your desktop or somewhere else where you can find it. Now, open up this folder. Before we install the mods, I want to show you something important and give you a warning. The folder named Saved is where each world or project is saved. The folders here will match the list of saves available on the Minecraft load screen. Each folder contains all the little files generated by the game to make what you create come to life. First important thing, back up your files. Copy the folder for your project regularly and store it somewhere else, whether that be another spot on your computer, somewhere online, or on a flash drive. You can never be too careful. The second important thing, and why I highlight this, is because of kids. You may already have Minecraft on the computer for your kids, so your thought is simply to use that. If you have to, fine, but back up your files. I know it's not easy to fork up money for an extra computer, but if you do have one that's yours alone, fork over the money for your own copy of the game. It's a small expense to ensure your kid or one of their friends doesn't wreck the set piece you've been carefully designing. Now to actually install the mods. There are 3 components to running mods: the game, the mod client, and the mods themselves. The important bit here is that all 3 have to be the same version. For our purposes, we're going to go with 1.10.2. Step 1. Run the version of the game you'll be using once first. In our case, 1.10.2. This generates the files necessary for the mod client to work off of, or something like that. Click Launch Options, Add New, give it whatever name you wish so you'll recognize it. Click Version and choose 1.10.2 and save. Click on News and we'll see the green button back at the bottom of the screen. Make sure that under Play it lists the profile you just made. If not, clicking the arrow adjacent to the button will bring up a list. Click Play and let the game launch. After it's done and at the title screen, you can simply quit the game. Step 2. Now we need to download the mod client. Go to files.minecraftforge.net. At this website, click on 1.10 and then 1.10.2. Now click on Windows Installer under Download Recommended. The next page is an advertisement dealie Forge has put up. Ignore any content on the page, don't click any pop-ups, and wait until the red skip button appears in the top right corner. This will download Forge, which is the mod client. Follow the setup like any program, making sure the Install Client button is marked. Now run Minecraft again. Once the launcher opens, click Launch Options, then click on the profile we made earlier to edit it. We're going to change the version to the one on the scroll down list that says Release-1.10.2-Forge, etc., and save it. Click on News again and we'll see the green button back at the bottom of the screen. Make sure it says 1.10.2-Forge. If not, just change it. This needs to be your launch profile every time you start the game for the mods to work. Go ahead and click Play. Going through the launching process will create a folder we'll need later. Once you reach the game's title screen, you can exit the game. Step 3. We're almost done and this is the easiest step. Go online and download the mods you want. I'll show you the 4 I recommend. Google CurseForge Minecraft mods and find this website. Click in the search bar. First up is World Edit. Note you want the one that simply says World Edit, not the CUI one. On this page, click Files. On the right, click Game Version and change it to 1.10.2. Any of these files should work, but it's generally recommended to use the latest release. What's up top? Click on the down arrow next to the one at the top to download the file. Windows may give you a warning message about the file. Don't worry, it's fine. The process is the same for the other files, but I'll show you quickly on screen. So search for, then download Chisels and Bits, and grab the 1.10.2 version. Search for flat color blocks and download the 1.10.2 version. Search for Xtones and download the 1.10.2 version. Now we have our 4 mods downloaded. On your computer, go to wherever you downloaded them. To install these, we simply move the files to the right spot. So, select the 4 aisles and cut them. Navigate to your .minecraft folder that I told you to make a shortcut of. There's a folder in here called Mods. Open that and paste the mod files inside. We are now completely done and ready to go. I'm going to take just one more minute to show you what it looks like in-game, and then we'll be done. We'll click Single Player, then Create World. Under Game Mode, choose Creative. Now click More World Options. Leaving World Type as default will generate terrain if you want that. If you'd prefer a blank canvas, so to speak, then click until it says Super Flat. So once you're in-game, you can open your inventory with the E key. If you've played before, you'll recognize this. These are the base blocks and such from the base game. The mods we've added will be on page 2 here. That's it, folks. I plan on making further videos on how to use these mods to start making your set pieces, but feel free to get after it yourself or look up other people's guides on YouTube. Good luck building and good luck writing. I'll see you later.